Hi everyone. I would like to tell you few things related to Selenium automation testing. I know most of the people who might struggle to learn the locators when we are working on the Selenium. So I would like to use the AI and explain you how we can easily learn the locators and how we can actually work with them during our automation testing. So, what exactly locator is a locator and why we need a locator? Suppose if you take this web page, there might be front-end developers who have developed this nice web page. I have taken this tutorial point example for practice. Now, suppose if you want to, you have a test case like you need to fill this form. You need to fill all these details and you need to submit it. That is your one of the manual test case. Now, if I do automation, I will use Selenium for that. Before going into the actual test script, I need to find these elements in the web page. Okay. Once I open this browser, I need to know how can I identify these elements easily. So for that, Selenium will provide us number of locators. We have 8 to 9 locators. I'm more or less focusing on XPaths and CSS in this particular video because these are the two things which will be asked in the interviews mostly. So now I will open a document where I will show you what exactly locators and how we are going to find the elements using these locators. So as you can see here, we might have different kind of elements in a web page. If you observe here, you can see text box, checkbox, and radio buttons, and web tables and buttons, links. So these are the common elements which we are seeing on a web page. And when you are doing a manual test case execution on a web page also, you will mostly find these elements only. So if you know how to handle all these kind of elements, how to identify these elements in a web page, your job will be easy doing the automation. Now I want to go into these experts. So before that, we need to know how these elements was created in the front end, so you're able to see it. So to know more about this particular element, what we need to do is just right click on your browser and open the inspect page. You will see some syntax like this, like relay in the elements tab. You see, when I'm moving the mouse over these each individual elements, some elements in the web page are highlighting. So if you want to identify a particular element, you can move your mouse on that elements so that it will highlight the elements in the front end. Now suppose I want to check this particular full name element, just turn on this one and move your mouse onto the elements like this. You can see, right, whenever I am moving one after another these elements, the highlighted area will be changing. Now as I am going to teach you a small thing for this full name field, I moved my mouse over this, and if I expand it, I can see some individual tags for it also. Okay, now I will copy this particular this entire one. To copy it, just do right click and copy this, copy element, and I will open a new tab to explain you the actual syntax of that particular element creation. Okay, second. Let me recapture it again. This is the element. I'm going to copy it. Copy element. Now I will copy the outer path, outer HTML. Then open a new document and I will paste it here. Okay. Now as you can see, this is the element which they have written in the backend to show up in the front end. Now in this, so every element, every web element will consist of something. The first thing, if you observe here, is after this angular braces, the first one which is there, that is called the tag name. So every element will have some things. On that first one is tag name. Here tag name is input, and it will consist of different attributes and attribute values. Here attributes are id, name and type and class and placeholder. These are the attributes, and values are the corresponding values to the attributes which are in the double quotes. You can see them, right? This full name and remaining all this full name, text, form control, full name, these all are the values for those corresponding attributes. So remember this, every element, web element will have tag name, attributes and attribute values. These are the basic three things to form an web element. Okay, now using this we are going to write the XPaths. So basic XPaths we will write is tag we will do the syntax like this. You can remember it as a formula for now. These double slashes, then tag name, then attribute name, and then attribute value. So this is the basic syntax. Here we need to give at the rate before the attributes. This is the basic syntax to identify an web element. Now I will use the same formula and I will identify that element in the web page. Now if you see here, as I can already copy here, so if this is the web element which was formed during these tag names and attribute values, how I am going to write it? Open the double slashes, then what is the tag name here? Input, then what is the attribute value? I'm going to take it with at id and full name. For now I will copy this same thing here, and then I will give an at the rate and I will complete that, and I will close this square braces. Okay, now I will copy the same thing, do Ctrl C, come to this tab, and here if you do Ctrl F, it will open like this one find box for you which states like give a string or selector or XPath. Here I am going to paste that value here. See, the moment I pasted it here, it is highlighting this one, and also if you observe it, the matching XPaths with this whatever the thing we have written are identified as one of one. So we have uniquely identified the element here. Okay, the main motto of finding XPaths or CSS is we need to write a unique XPaths or CSS to identify the element, because if you are uh, the whatever the XPath which you have written, if it is written multiple elements while doing the automation, it will be different for the driver to identify the particular element. So that's why we are making sure that we have written the unique ones. Now I'm just going to give another example how it might can give you different elements. Okay, just check here full name. Let's try to take a common one. Type text will be more common in most of the cases because text type will be there more, right? Because we have so many text fields here. Let's try to go by that one. Okay, see, okay. I think it is only one, that's why we got only one. Okay, let's try with this attribute. If it is identified only one, then we are good. If not, we need, I'm just for explaining purpose I am giving it. Yeah, here you can see there might be common attributes for different elements. We need to make sure like we have taken an attribute which is unique in the web element. Okay, that's why I showed you this example. You can see these three attributes, this password, full name and email, these three having the same attribute as class form control. So you need to make sure like you have selected the unique attributes while writing the syntaxes. Okay, I'm sure you have understood how to write a basic XPath, right? The thing is you need to open the double slashes, then tag name at the rate, attribute name equal to single quotes or double quotes, anything will be work fine. Let me show you. Just you need to maintain the proper hierarchy. Single quote and here also single quote. Okay, you can see either you can give single quote or double quote, but you need to make sure uniqueness in the XPath syntax. Now this is the basic syntax. Now we will go through one after another like that. Okay. Now, so this is what we have written, right? Tag name, attribute, and attribute name. Okay. Now there might be multiple things like sometimes you might need to identify an elements using multiple attributes. Okay, suppose here only, here if you see, if I use the form control, I got the three attribute, three fields, three web elements. Now I want to use one more attribute so that I will identify the web element more clearly. For that I will rely on the name, full name. I will just go to the syntax here. You can see tag name, attribute, and same attribute, attribute name. I will do the same thing here. Just write and at the rate. Excuse me. Okay, you can see now I have used two attributes to identify this particular web element and it has identified the element uniquely. So this is the another syntax which we are going to follow. Okay, this is the second one where we are going to use the two attributes to find a particular element. Now third one. Okay, sometimes there might be some elements where we need to identify them using the some part of the web element. Okay, now here let me go to this current address. Okay, let's go here. Here you can see current address is there, right? Okay, assume like we might encounter into a situation where we need to identify that particular web element using some part of the attribute value. For that, what I will do is I will copy this placeholder current address, copy this. I will remove this. Okay, I will give like this. What is the syntax for it? We go here. Okay, tag name contains at the rate that particular attribute value. Okay, here tag name, first we need to write contains, cont contains at the rate attribute name, comma, we need to close this here. This is the mistake we have done. id contains input contains at the rate placeholder current address. See here, if you observe the mistake what I have done, let's go here. Here you can see the tag name is text area, but what I have used input. That's why for me it is giving 0. Now I need to copy the text area here and replace it here. Then the moment I have updated it here, you can see 1 of 1. So that is the thing you need to make sure. So while writing the experts, you need to follow the same syntax, whatever we have written it. This is syntax number 3. Now we will go to syntax number 4, which is starts with. Okay, now if you observe the same thing, I can replace the contents with starts with here because current address is starting with current end, right? I will copy this one. I have pasted it already. Instead of contents, I will write here starts with. Okay, make sure you have written the correct spellings also. S should be small. Okay, you need to write as small. Then the moment I have changed it, you can see it is identifying me properly. Okay, let's copy this one and paste it here. Okay, this is also done. Now next one, text. Okay, now sometimes we can identify the elements based on the text which we are seeing on it. Okay, suppose here there is text like this. You can see this is the label, right? It has the name as current address. Now if I want to identify this label, I can directly write it like, copy this. Let's remove this entire thing. Now what is the tag name? Label, label, and open this one, text, square brackets, then this value. Then you can close this one. That's it. You can see the moment I have closed it, it has identified that element correctly. The only thing, only precaution we need to make sure that while writing the text elements, when we are trying to identify an element using text, we need to give the entire value whatever it is given here. If you go by contains, then you can left some of the part, but if you are go by text, you have to give the entire thing. Suppose if I remove these two things, it won't identify it. You can see 0 of 0, because whatever the value, text value, it has it earlier, you need to give exactly with spaces. If you make any small mistake, it won't identify it. The least preferable one is text, because you will have always have the attributes and attribute values to identify any web element easily. The only area where you might need is if you are working with an insurance domain related applications, where you need to tick so many questions, where all the attributes and attribute values might be same. In those cases, you can choose the text one. Now we will go with the next one, contains text. Similar way, suppose I don't want to use the entire one, I might want to use the address one only. In that case, same tag name, then I need to write contains, open this, text, and comma, and then this value I will give off value only, current. Then I will close this one here. You can see the moment I have closed this one, it gave me this value. Just I am copying it and I am giving it here again. Okay, now next one, XPaths and operator. Okay, now and operator, if you want to, I think I have told you already, both conditions must have. Now or operator. Okay, now we are going to identify using or operator. Okay, so what else I can tell you here? I want to identify an element if it is matching either one of the attribute names I have specified here. Okay, ID, full name, current address. Okay, let me go to radio button. We might have some things, or else, yeah. Okay, here you have two elements. One is this one, this S label, and second one is this impressive label. Okay, now I will try to use these two to identify it. Okay, label text, I will give it as control F. What is the tag name? Label. Okay, contains text, comma, open single quotes, give the same name as S. Okay, then close this one, contains one will be closed. Now you can mention R and you can do the same thing, contains text, comma, impressive, Control C, and I will copy it here directly and close this one. You can see the moment I have completed it, it has identified both. So here, let me copy it and explain it in the notepad. So here if you observe it, this first thing is trying to identify for the S element. Okay, the second thing is trying to identify for the impressive element. Since I have written it as R, it will look into the entire web page and it will check whether either it has S or impressive. Either one of them, if it is matches, it is showing that count. That's why it is given as one of two. This might useful when you are working on any web page where you need to identify elements based on the two different properties. Okay, in those cases you will use these things. Now coming to next one, parent traversing. This is the most important things everyone will ask you to write it. Now what is parent traversing? Let me explain it in a small way. Okay, here you can see this is a label where it is shown as impressive. Now I want to identify the parent of this impressive label. Okay, what is parent child? Here if you see, there are some elements which are in this arrow mark, right? If you click on it, it is expanding the some web elements under that. So this is the parent element, and the below ones are the child of this parent. Okay, you can see this entire div element is the parent element. Input and label tags are the child of it. Now I want to identify this div element using these child elements. In those cases, parent will be useful for us. How we to do it? The simple syntax for it is this. Okay, simple syntax is this one. Let me copy it and write it more clear for you here. So the thing is this here, span is a tag name. Okay, text is normal text and it is identifying the value of it. Okay, then parent, and this is the parent tag name. This is the syntax for identifying a parent tag name. Okay, now I will use the same syntax to identify it here. If you come to the web page here, first I will write an syntax to identify this impressive only. For this I will use the basic one. Since I don't have much variables here which might identify me uniquely, I will use this impressive one, text one only, to identify it. Since I have already written contains text, I am removing this here, which is like that, open slash double slashes label contains text impressive, which is identifying me one element. You can see it right now. Now to traverse to the parent, just give one slash and write parent and do double colon and then give the tag name. What is the tag name of this parent? Div, right? If you give div, it will identify the div element. You can see it is highlighting here and same is highlighting there also. Okay, this is what child to parent traverse. That means first we will identify the child element, then by using that link we will identify the parent element. That comes under child to parent. I'm copying it here. Okay, now the second thing is parent to child. Suppose okay, let's go what else here. Okay, child traversing, same one. Okay, now I will identify the parent element first, then by using that parent element I will go to the child element. So for that, okay, don't make it more difficult for you. I'm trying to look for an element. Okay, let's see this one. Form, radio button. Okay, now to explain this, I have taken a web table example. where we have an web table where these element, this table one is the header for it. Okay, this is the, sorry, this is the parent for it. Now first I will try to identify this parent element, then I will go to this tr element. Okay, tr element which has this first name th, this particular column. Okay, using this parent I will copy this entire thing, do control f here, then I will return the tag name which is table, and I will open an at the red symbol, and I will close this, which will give me the entire table. You can see the moment I have it enter, I got the entire table. Okay, now here uh, I will try to identify the child. For this I will just do double slashes, then I will write child, and I will give arrow, and the tag name is th. See, it identified me the first one, but if you observe it here, we got 7 because for this parent, this table, we have 7 children. These are the 7 columns. Okay, that's why it has identified me 7. Now if you more precisely identify the first name field only, then you can see what else, what are the other attributes we have which is different to other remaining 6 elements, which is nothing but this name of the particular element. So for that I will just copy this, and I will use the text, which is nothing but text, right? I will give by the text of text equal to colon open colon close, then close this one. You can see the moment I hit enter, only first name is identified here. This is called parent to child traversing. I will copy the syntax here, we can look it later. Okay, control C, control V, child tag name or child XPath name. Okay, anything you can write it, child. Okay, we need to give double slashes here, remember it. Okay, for parent you need to give single slash, for child you need to give double slash. If you give single slash, it won't work. Here you can see the moment I have removed it, it is not trying to identify it because it won't think like it as a child element. Okay, if you give double slashes, then only it will think this particular XPath is a child to the previous one, whatever we have mentioned. Now going to the next one, sibling. Now what are siblings? Here if you identify it, these all are okay, this first name, second name, these all are in the same scope here. For all of them, this tr, this row is the parent, these all are the childs of that row, and all these childs are sibling to each other. Now we have a phenomena where we can identify the elements based on their siblings also. Okay, now I will just want to make one quick one. I will remove this directly, and I will directly identify the first element first. Okay, you can see tag name is th and text is first name. Now by using that, I want to identify the remaining let's say salary. Okay, I want to identify the salary amount using this. Now since these are the siblings, I just give it like single slash sibling, and double colon, what is the tag name for it? Let's go to salary, th, and text is salary. I will just copy this and replace it again. Okay, control C, control V. Let's go to salary, copy this salary and replace that with first name. I might did a wrong. Okay, let's see the syntax. Sibling, you need to mention it as following sibling, not only sibling. Okay, just correct it. Following sibling. Okay, see the moment I have hit that enter, we got it as following sibling. We have identified the salary element now using the first name. So what it does, first it will identify the first name, then it will look for the following siblings. What are the following siblings? Last name, age, email, salary, department, and action. Out of this, which has the text as salary? This salary one. So it will identify that element first. Copy it and go here, and I will copy this format one also. Okay, this is related to sibling. Now preceding sibling, what does mean by preceding sibling? So we'll close it here. So as we want to know preceding siblings, so what exactly a preceding sibling? So following sibling means we are traversing to the sibling below of that particular sibling which we have identified in the first. Now, preceding sibling means we have identified the sibling, a particular element, and we want to identify a sibling which is prior to that particular sibling. Here, if you see, department and action are the following siblings for salary. Email, age, last name, first name are the preceding siblings. So first, I will identify the salary first. Let's see. To identify the salary, I can remove all these things and I will keep salary only. This is the one. Now I will try to identify the last name. How I will do? I will just give this for, I will follow this one like tag name, whatever we want to give, then preceding sibling and double column. Okay, just give preceding sibling and double colon. What is the syntax for it? Same. First name we have given it as, suppose what will do if I give the tag name. Okay, I think I have written the one C, right? I have given two C's. We need to make sure like we have to give correct values for it. Okay. Now as you can see, I got total four elements because first name, last name, age, email. Those four are the preceding siblings for the salary. So that's why it is highlighting me four. Now if I want a particular one, I can write the text for it. Text and then give the particular text value. First name. Okay, see it has identified first name. You can write directly with the text name. Why I'm explaining you is if you don't have any attributes to identify a particular element, you can use this traversing as parent to child, child to parent, or following sibling or preceding sibling. There is one more thing which is the ancestors. Ancestors means here if you see, this is the table, right? Inside the table, this is the table body and this is the particular table row. Okay, now I want to get this entire, identify this entire table body using this first row. Okay, what I will do, I will just write this td. Let me remove this entire thing. First I will identify this particular tr1. Okay, or by using this also I can directly identify the t body. Let me show you. Let me identify this one. Tag name is td and text is whatever we have written here. This has identified it properly. Okay, now ancestors. For ancestors, this is the keyword for it. Okay, just open single colon ancestor double colon, so single slash double colon. Then what is the tag name for it? T body, right? Just give T body here. It will identify the everything, entire thing. Okay, this is nothing but the ancestors. Ancestors means parents of the parents. Okay, if you want to identify parent of the parent element, you can write ancestors. If you give parent, it will identify the immediate parent only. If you want to identify the parents of the parents like grandparents, you can use the ancestor keyword here. Okay, that is the tag name. So these are all the XPaths we always use it to write in an interview context. Okay, let me filter it and rewind it to you again. Okay, see the basic syntax for it as like any web element will have a tag name and attributes and attribute name. Let me rewind everything once. Then these are the tag name and attributes. Obviously, you know, this is the syntax for a basic XPaths like tag name at the rate attribute and attribute value. With those we have seen different type of examples in the page. Okay, text area. And if you want to go by any particular some part of the attributes, you can use the contains and that particular attribute name and attribute values. We have seen these everything, and then comes to parent to child relations and child to parent relation, and then following sibling, preceding sibling, ancestors. These are all the important things which we want to understand. Now, the one more important thing is I just want to give you how interviews will ask you to write the syntaxes. First, they will ask you to open the Amazon page. Let's open Amazon page. Okay. If you see here, they will ask you to identify a random one. Like here, uh, which one I should identify it? Okay. um, okay, let me open the inspect page. Open it now. They might ask you to identify, suppose this cart. Okay, cart. Here you can see, okay, this one they want you to identify it. Do